Alright, so I'm now going to set up my new board. So this is my old one. Blind. It's got pretty bad razor tail. These are my Thunder trucks. I've had these for years. These come off my first board ever. These are almost the same age as me. They're like 2 years younger than me, these trucks. These actually came off my first board my dad gave me. The hardware is staying, that's pretty new. These wheels I've had for about 7 years, and the guy who I got given them by a guy at the skate park who'd probably ridden them for a few years before that. These bearings, I just got these new bearings the other day, so those will be staying. This is the grip job that I had on it. And so here are my new trucks. New Thunders, 148. And then I got some 52mm Spitfires. Just the Spitfire cheap shots. Then some Jessup classic grip tapes I'm going to do a cool design on, hopefully. Hopefully not mess it up like I did on this one. And this is my dad's new deck. He got a stereo. But this is my new deck. I got a Dark Star. It's been my first Dark Star I've ever ridden. I've only ever ridden zeros, reels, and blinds. So, yeah. Just gonna get into setting up the new board. Well, that's all taken apart. Got the trucks off of here. This is going to go with my collection of old decks. There's all the hardware that I'll still be using. Here are my old trucks. Pretty nice. Very well used. Those bushings are coming apart. Now I'm going to have to take off the bearings, take the bearings out of here. I'll take those wheels off, take the bearings out of there, and put them in these new Spitfires. Alright. Now I'm going to show you, if you've never been taught before, I'm going to show you how to get bearings off the wheel, the secret to get bearings off the wheels, and how to put them onto some new wheels. So, let me show you. So you get your wheel, and you get your truck here, and you're looking to put it on so that it's just a bit above the bearing, in there, and then you're just going to pull until it pops right off like that. And then you repeat that on the other side, look. Push that through just till it's a bit above the bearing, and then you just lever it off like that. Alright, now that I've shown you how to get bearings off of wheels, now I'm going to show you how to put on some new wheels like these. So, these are the new wheels. So, just set you up here again. I'm just going to open this packet up really quickly. Alright, now that I've gotten these out of the packet here, I'm going to show you how to put the bearings in. So these bearings, they've got a cover on the outside and the inside is not covered. And so here's how you're going to put them on. So first you're going to get your truck, you're going to place this bearing like that with the cover side out. You get your wheel, you're going to place your wheel on top, and then you're just going to push down on it. There you go. Now you've got it some of the way in, you just got to push down again. Perfect. Now that bearing's in, and that wheel is halfway done. So, then you're going to get your other bearing for your other side. You're going to place it on there. You're going to put the wheel the other way, and you're going to push down again. Perfect. Now I've got that bearing in and both sides are in. Now the wheel spins perfectly. Now I'm just going to repeat that for all the wheels.
Talk about that with you, you might hear me out. Say you feel the same as me, but you just want clout. I'm really the only one that does it right there.
Okay, that is now done. I have all 4 wheels here ready. And here are the new trucks. But first, I'm going to set up this deck so I'll put the grip tape on. I'm going to try to do a cool design on it.
You might miss her.
But you can die from fucking anything these days. But you can't be afraid. That's one thing in life is you can't be fucking afraid. Before you can have anything, you gotta lose everything. And that's the confinement. You gotta lose that confinement that you have yourself in and the others around you have placed you in. You have to fucking lose that. And once you do that, you're free to be whoever the fuck you want.
Life is, it's not fun without risk.
The beach isn't the place to pick up girls because you can really see them. Most beaches are with chicks, and they're
I've been moving in backward directions during astral projections. I plaster my ass on the wall for attention. I need faster connections, passes a grant. I flash from the gems is if I didn't care what my friends did. Friends represent one.
Alright, so now I've cut out the design. They're not the best. Bit crooked. But they were freehand with a Sharpie and a not very sharp box cutter. And I didn't have any scissors, unfortunately, which made it very hard to cut them out. So they look a little bit wonky, but it's alright. It still looks pretty cool, in my opinion. But now we're going to put the grip tape on.
And when you get big, get slick, get quick, wanna spend shit. And with the sniff or a hug or injection, I can't handle rejection. Stand the reflection, damn who gets it. Should I be kind or minded or weak?
Alright, so now that you put this on, now what you're going to do is you get a screwdriver and you're just going to score up the side. So like this. And so you're going to do that the whole way around. Alright, now I've scored it all the way around. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to get your knife. So you want a pretty sharp knife. And when you're cutting, you need to get it decently in there, and you're going to cut on sort of an angle like that. And you're just going to work your way around. So I'm just going to do that really quick and then I'll get back to you guys. Alright, so I finished that. I unfortunately did a pretty pitiful job on that as well though, as you can see on the edges. I'm not on my top game tonight for grip tape, but I'm going to clean it up a little bit more. But the next step is you get a piece of the grip tape you cut off here, and you're just going to use that to go around the edges and just sand down those edges a little bit. Just smooth them out. Here we go, this is the whole thing sanded down and the designs put in. Next up, we'll be putting the wheels onto the truck, putting the trucks onto the board, and putting the wheels onto the trucks, and then I'll be finished. But first, I'm just gonna go have dinner, and then I'll do that. All right, guys. Just had dinner with my family. All my parents left to go watch a movie together. My lip has become even more swollen from the piercing, so don't mind that. It's not normally that big. But I'm now going to go and finish setting up the skateboard in here. All right, so. Yes, I know my lip is very swollen. Hopefully that'll go down soon. It's a fresh piercing, but that's not the point. I'm now going to show you how to put in the hardware and put the trucks on. So, as you can see, there's no holes yet for the hardware. There's holes in the back, but on the front. So, we're going to fix that. So I'm actually going to grab some of my hardware. I'm just going to put it in the hole backwards. I'm just going to push it through. And just going to come out the other side a little bit. It's going to mark the spot there. And then I'm going to stick it back in on this side. And I'm just going to widen up that hole and push it through that side. And now I'm just going to do that for all the hardware to get all the holes poked out, and then I'm going to stick on the trucks. I'll show you that in a second. Alright, so now I've got all the hardware through. Sticking on the other side, got the holes done. We're going to attach the trucks. I'm going to take all the hardware out except for one of them. Alright, so now I've taken them all back out again, except for one on each side. Now I'm going to show you how to put one truck on, and then I'm going to do the other one off camera, and then I'll show you wheels. So I'm just going to really quickly take these labels off, and then I'll show you. Alright, labels off. Get your board and your trucks, and you're going to line that up right there. And then you're going to get your bolt. You're going to put it on, screw it on your fingers for the first little bit like that. Then you get your skate tool, your T-tool, and you put it on there like that. And then you use the screwdriver here on the back, use that Allen key part. And you're just going to tighten that on there. Very difficult to do with the camera in the way. Let me just tighten this, and then I'll turn the camera back on. Okay, so you're going to get that tightened on a decent amount of the way. Not all the way though. Just enough that the truck doesn't move around. And then you're going to get the bolt that goes on the other side there. And once you get it on the other side, you're just going to repeat the same thing. You're just going to tighten that, but not all the way. And you'll repeat that with all the bolts on this truck. And then once you've got them all on like that, then you'll tighten them all. Alright, so I have now got the trucks on. And so next, I'm going to do the wheels. So just give me a second for that. Okay, so when you're setting up your wheels, what you want to do is first take off the end nut. It shouldn't be too tight anyway. Then you've got two washers on here. You want to take one of them off. You want to keep the other one on. So once you've done that, you want to get your wheel. Most people seem to prefer to have the graphic on the inside, but I want to show off the graphic because it looks pretty nice. So you're going to keep that one washer on there, and you're going to put your wheel on and push it to there, and then you'll get your other washer, put it on, and then you'll get your nut, screw it on there a bit with your fingers just so it's on there, and then you'll use your T-tool or whatever you're using and tighten that on there. And so you want to tighten it a pretty decent amount, but you don't want to tighten it all the way. You want the wheel to still be able to wiggle a tiny bit. So I've actually tightened it too much, which you don't want. So I'm going to loosen that up a little bit. So it should just be able to wiggle a little bit, like that. And now it'll spin really well. So now I'm going to do the other three, sorry. And then my setup will be complete. Okay, and here we go, guys. This is the fully completed setup. That was terrible. Let me give that another one. That was better. So yeah, that's my complete setup. Fully done. I unfortunately can't properly give it a skate tonight because it is dark outside. But I'll probably give it a skate tomorrow. If not, I will on Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. This is my first video, so I'm not sure how many people actually going to see this. If anyone, but yeah. good seeing the sport up, and I hope it's reaches some cool people. Yeah. See ya.
It's gonna get big checks from the set.